What's up, everyone? All right, so it's a red day recap. Finishing the day down $3,400. But the silver lining is that I made about $650 in my IRA account. So my IRA is green today. My main account is red. I don't know. I mean, I don't like losing money, but it's nice to make money at least in the IRA since it kind of matters so much there, and I can't add more money into it. So I don't know. Today's just it's a little bit of a bummer, but because of that silver lining, I really don't feel that bummed out. I think if anything, I wish that maybe the market was a little stronger and the stocks that I lost on in my main account had been, had more momentum and just opened up a little bit more. But it is what it is. One step forward, one step back. It's kind of the way this month has been so far, but I can grind on these ups and downs until things start to open up with some really good momentum trades. So anyways, we'll break it all down in today's midday market recap as usual. Any questions, any comments, leave them below, and I'd love if you guys give me a thumbs up for doing the red day recap. All right, I'll see you guys first thing tomorrow morning. All right, everyone. So we're going to do our midday market recap here and go over what has been overall a disappointing day for me. It's going to be a red day recap, and it's my second red day of the month. I had one red day last week and one this week, which is on par with about one red day per week. The only thing that's disappointing really is the fact that so far the last 2 weeks have been very choppy and really quite frustrating. Anytime you trade through choppy markets, it feels frustrating because you're following your rules, you're taking trades based on your strategy, but you're not finding success. And it's confusing because you're doing the exact same thing you did 2 weeks ago when you were doing really well. And so you're saying, well, what's different? I'm doing the same thing. I'm buying at the same spots, I'm setting my same stops, my same profit targets, but this week I'm losing money when last week I made money. And that speaks to the ebb and the flow of the market. That we see some markets that are incredibly strong, where you get rewarded for every trade you take, and it's just, it's awesome. And then we'll see some markets where even great quality setups just don't work, where we see a lot of choppiness. And so what's important is to learn when to throttle up and be aggressive when the market is hot, and when to ease off the throttle when the market is slow. And that's something that takes a good amount of time to really be in that flow state. During our FOMO Friday sessions with our in-house trading coach, Ted, who's a therapist and a counselor, he really talks a lot about that flow state where you're able to react to changing circumstances, to changing markets so fluidly that you're just instinctually, if you're just imagine, for instance, if you ride a dirt bike and you're ripping around a dirt track or whatever, you're up in the woods, you can instinctually know when to, go hard and lighten up and stuff like that, when your wheels are spinning, when you're trying to push it, when you're, trying to get up a hill, when you need to ease off. And you get to a place where you're like, the machine is an extension of your body. And that's true with so many things. That's true with surfing, where the surfboard becomes an extension of your body. It's true with skateboarding. It's true with skiing and snowboarding. And it's definitely true with trading, that this trading platform becomes an extension of my body in that same way that, you are just able to read the market and pivot and adjust and get aggressive and then ease back. And I know that initially that's difficult, just as initially stepping on a skateboard is very difficult. And then you get your balance and you get, you get it. And ultimately not everyone is going to get it. And that's, of course, the challenge with all of these things in life, that as much as I would love to be an amazing guitar player, it's just not something that I'm good at. Now, I don't think I have a natural aptitude for it. And maybe after a period of, years of practice, I would get decent enough that I could enjoy it. But with trading, most people don't want to spend years and years trying to learn. They want to be able to pretty much jump in and get it. And so one of the challenges, of course, is dealing with the fact that you can do the same exact thing and on one day make $636, and on another day lose $4,000, right? Doing the same thing. So what's different? What's the disconnect? So today's a day where I got on the wrong side of pretty much everything, and I didn't see really good follow through. And overall, this is a disappointing day. This day is a step back. I had a day earlier in the week that was a break-even day, and this is worse than break-even. This is a red day. This is definitely a step back. But certainly don't feel badly for me because I'm still in great shape on the year, up $400,000+. And these days are part of being a trader at my level, where I'm trading with big share size. My good green days will be anywhere from $5 to $15 to $25, even $40,000. My big red days will be anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000 to $15,000. Worst red day of the year was a $16,000 red day. And as bad as that day was, it's water under the bridge. And that was like 6 months ago, and here I am now up $400,000+ on the year. So I really try not to sweat the small stuff, and a red day being down net $3,400 is small stuff, right? If my best day of the year is $40,000 in the green, or actually my best day of all time is $40,000. My best day this year is $30,000. So whatever. My best day is $30,000 of the year. My worst day is $16,000 of the year. Everything else is in between, right? And everything else is just kind of the ups and downs, the regular days. No need to get bent out of shape about it. Having said that, I say that really even to myself because it's easy to get frustrated. So this morning, I'm going to go to historical data on this scan. Also, a reminder, we are still hosting our workshop here. This is going to be the first workshop for the month of November, possibly the first and only workshop, 1 p.m. Eastern. So the link is in the, I believe, announcements tab for chat room members. And for those of you watching on Facebook, the link is in the description below. Those of you watching anytime past 1 o'clock, the workshop will have already started. But you can certainly register to our next one. So what we'll probably do is replay today's live workshop tomorrow at 1 p.m. So if you're not able to attend today's, you can still register and then you can watch it tomorrow. All right, so that's probably what we'll do. Anyway, so this morning, our gap scanner looked a little iffy. The leading gapper was up 33%, but on very light volume. So I wasn't interested in that. The second leading gapper was NK with a 27 million share float, and I wasn't sure it was going to be easy to trade. Right out of the gates, it ends up squeezing up from 350 up to 410. And you know what? On this one, I said, I think this is going to be a short. I want to short it at 398 right here. Well, that would have worked out pretty well. And I tried to short it. I had shares available to borrow. Let me just bring this back up here. NK, but I did not fill. That was at 398. So 6,000 shares short, tried to take it at 398. It dropped down here to 370. So I had the right idea, but sometimes they go without you. So with this one, I didn't get my trade on it. But the stock I was really watching out of the gates was RSLS. This was a recent reverse split. But unlike a couple of the recent reverse splits that we've seen in the last few weeks, this one also had a catalyst today. It had a headline. That's what we like to see. All right, so I had a pre-market high of $4.50 and a pre-market low of $2.20. So a huge range. Now on this one, and by the way, NVLN with this red mark right here looks like it's about to get halted on a circuit breaker. Hindsight being 2020, coulda, shoulda, woulda, but I do have $600 of profit on the name, so whatever. We'll come back to that one in a second. So I started the day with RSLS. On this one, I kind of wanted to not trade it right out of the gates, but to wait like 15 minutes and let it do maybe a little consolidation and then a 1 minute micro pullback. However, right out of the gates, it started to squeeze up. So I jumped in it for the break over 350. It hit 355 and then promptly dropped to 285. And I lost $1,600 on my first trade. So first trade, $1,600. I then took a trade on XONE and made $40. This was not a particularly exciting trade. This was on the scanners. I jumped in on this little micro pullback right in here and ended up selling it, but I only got a partial fill, so only $40 on that. So back to RSLS. This starts curling back up, and I'm looking at it thinking, if this thing breaks over 350, that's a red to green move. And given the volatility that it's already shown, I think it has potential to get at least to 375, if not $4. So I jumped back in. It drops down. It pops back up. I'm still holding. It drops down. It pops back up. I'm still holding. It finally drops back down, and I sell. So 2 trades on it. First one was 6,000 shares. Second one was 9,000. So in total, I lost, let's see, on the first trade, let me just scroll up, I lost about 25 cents total. And on the second trade, I lost about 20 cents total. So realistically, my stops were tight enough, but we just didn't get follow through. We just didn't get that break over 350. It kept hitting that level and not breaking it. So that was disappointing, no doubt about it. I mean, this was, I really, really thought as soon as it broke 350, it was going to pop up to 375 and $4. And I think that it would have, but it just could not break that level. So, you know, I stepped up to the plate with bigger share size. My target was 375 to $4. With my last trade of 9,000 shares at 340, that would have been a $3,000 to $4,000 winner, maybe 5,000. So the profit potential was there. Lost about $2,000 on that last trade, but you know, it just didn't happen. So anyways, know when to cut your losses, and that's certainly better than still holding it now as it's back down at like 250, 230, right? So, you know, gave it a couple tries, didn't work. It is what it is. Here's the thing. This put me down more than $2,000 on the day, which is my daily max loss. Right, so my daily max loss is $2,000 on the day. So yeah, RSLS, so let's see. First trade, RSLS in at 30, selling some up here, no fill, adding at 52, trying to sell at 50, selling the rest 306, 287. So from 330 to 350, I made $600 on those 3,000 shares. Oh, or the 2,000, whatever that I sold at 50, and then I lost on these shares. Tried to short NK, no fill. Got in XON, sold it for 5 cents. Got it back in RSLS, added here. Couldn't break that level, tried to unwind the position, eventually sold. CHFS, got in at 125, sold at 112. All right, so CHFS we'll go over second. First we'll go over NVLN. So NVLN, I jumped into this one. Even though I was down more than my max loss, this one I really felt confident on. I didn't think it would do as much as it's done, but I thought it would almost definitely give a 15 to 20 cent move. Almost definitely. So it was squeezing up here from 80 cents to $1.04, and then it got halted on a circuit breaker for 5 minutes. All right, so it's halted and not trading at all. As it resumes, I jump in at $1.12 and it squeezes up to $1.20. Now, I sold some of my position at $1.21, and then I started to get nervous because it flashed, as you can see here, down to $1.06 and then popped back up to $1.26. And I was like, whoa, okay, maybe I need to unwind this position. This IRA has only $18,000 in it, $18,800. And I was up to just under $21,000 about 2-3 weeks ago, and my last 2 trades in it, or my last 2 days trading in it, I lost $1,200 on each day. So I lost $2,500 in the account. And I can't keep doing that. I need to start going back up. So with my 9,000 share position at $1.12, yeah, it would be nice to still be holding those shares. But that's not, in my opinion, really trading. That's buying a lottery ticket and hoping that something happens. I had a high level of conviction that from $1.12, this would go up to $1.15, $1.20. And what I thought would happen is that it would get halted on a second circuit breaker at $1.25 and $1.30. And if it did, it would most likely squeeze up to $1.50. We have seen that happen in a period of about 15 minutes, and that's what I thought could happen on this. So when it popped up to $1.26 and then dropped all the way down to $1.06, I was happy to get back out. Well, but then it curls up here, and I ended up getting back in at $1.20. Let's see, $1.25 and $1.27. I thought it was going to get halted on another circuit breaker at $1.35. It did a false halt, a fake halt, where it looked like it was about to get halted, and then it dropped back down. And almost every time that's happened, it's been bad. So I was like, nope, got to get out of this right away. So I got out right away. Well, it ends up consolidating here, but by this time I had used all but $500 of my buying power, so I couldn't take another trade in this account. So I was done. And at this point I was like, well, I could trade in this in my main account, but I'm really not sure. I'm not sure. But then it popped up here to 43 and then dropped back down to 27 and then popped back up to 44. Dropped back down to 33, and then ripped up here to 67 and got halted. It resumes and drops all the way back down to $1.35. And then it bounces back up to $1.63, right? So this was just kind of wild today. And what I was hoping was that we would see another stock around this price range break over $1 and start this whole kind of thing all over again, from a brand new stock. And that didn't end up happening. But CHFS did pop up on the scanners. So CHFS came up on our scanners right here, and I looked at it and thought, it's a close enough price with a low enough float that maybe it will move. Maybe it will make this big breakout like NVLN did. So I jumped into it with 5,000 shares at $1.25. Prepared to double over $1.30, maybe add over $1.40 into a circuit breaker halt. All right. So the high here was $1.29, and then it dropped back down here, flushing to $1.09. So I took the loss, $640, and said, you know what? I'm done today. I'm not feeling it. I'm not going to push my luck anymore. I'm just going to throw in the towel. So I'm red $3,400, which is the same amount that I lost. Actually, last Friday I lost $3,200. And last Thursday I made $3,800 in profit. So, this just kind of feels like 2 steps forward, 2 steps back, 2 steps forward, 2 steps back. I'm basically back to right around break even on the month as of today. I'm actually a little bit red on the month. And at the end of the first week, that's not what I like, but it is what it is. I've gone through these ups and downs so many times in my career that I really, as much as maybe the emotion gets to me in the moment where I'm like, oh man, this is frustrating. I feel like I'm missing opportunities like NVLN. I'm not fully capitalizing on it. Or, RSLS, a great setup and it's just not working. What's the deal? So as kind of frustrating as that is, and as much as I would love to be up 4,000 today or be up 10,000, the market for my strategy just hasn't felt super, super hot. And that's part of the ebb and the flow. But this move on NVLN on 16 million shares of volume is certainly nice to see and is something that maybe will trigger a little bit more momentum in the coming days and weeks. I certainly hope so. November last year was my, as of November last year, it was the best month that I've ever had in my career. I made $82,000. So, I was really hoping that November would be another really strong month. For the last like 4 consecutive years, November has been strong. Um, but at the same time, last year in November, I made $75,000 of that profit in 2 days. I made $30,000, and then the next day I made $40,000. So, we still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 full days of trading left, and I only need 2 days to make $80,000. So there's always hope. You never know. I mean, we get into a hot market and things start to open up. It can happen. Or maybe this will be a slow month and I'll have to be content with finishing the year maybe only at $450,000 instead of $500,000 of profit. But I can live with that. And, this is one of those things about trading, that this is a marathon. It's not a sprint. So, as much as I might like to make $100,000 in the next month, what happens if I do? Well, if I do, then, I'll take that $100,000 out of my trading account, probably reinvest it in long-term investments, ETFs, mutual funds, bonds, stuff like that. I use a financial advisor for that stuff. I don't do it myself. So, okay. And what if I don't? Well, nothing really changes. It's just an arbitrary number, and it doesn't really matter. I'm making enough to pay my bills. I'm making enough to, live comfortably, and that's the dream. So, I'm at $100,000 a month. I'm certainly making a lot more than I need. And it's always nice to have a couple months to give yourself a little cushion for the inevitable slow patch that you'll come across at some point. And I have that from earlier in the year. So if this is the slow patch, then it's fine. And when things do heat up, I'll get another cushion and use that for the next slow patch. And that's just the way it always is. So, it's important to try to keep it in perspective. And also remember that we're all very, very fortunate to be able to sit in our home offices, sit in our living rooms, wherever you're sitting, and have the potential to be able to make a full-time income without having to go into a 9-to-5 job, without having a boss. So I always try to keep that in perspective and be grateful for this opportunity to be a trader. And VLN, curling back up here. This was the first 5-minute pullback, and this is the second. High a day is 197, but with 17 million shares of volume, certainly becoming quite crowded. Good amount of tug of war on this. 196 on the ask right now, double topping at just under high a day, looking like it might get halted, but then with so much volume, we're seeing a lot of false halts. Yes, a lot of people do trade an IRA account. 401k, you can have a self-directed 401k, but I'm not sure that you can actually open a brokerage account with your 401k that you would actively day trade in. I'm not 100% sure. You can convert your 401k to an IRA under certain circumstances. I use an IRA. I use a Roth IRA. That's the account that I have, and it allows me, right now, just to day trade a couple times a week because I don't have a lot of money in there. But once I build up the balance a little bit more, I'll be using it a lot more than I am now. So, anyways, so that's about it for me this morning. A red day recap, but I know you guys learn a lot from the red days. So, those of you watching on YouTube and Facebook, hopefully you guys give me the thumbs up for doing the red day recap, and hopefully you learned something. And we'll be back at it first thing tomorrow morning, 9:15 for pre-market analysis, and our workshop will be starting in about an hour and a half at 1 o'clock. So I will see a lot of you guys there. It's going to be, I think, a really great turnout. Make sure you get logged in a little early. I'll open the whatever it is, the conference room, just probably right around 1 p.m. But if you're in early, you'll make sure you have a seat. So again, those of you that are already Warrior Pro students, I'm not going to cover anything you don't already know. But for those of you who have been just in the chat room, those of you who are on YouTube, Facebook, who want to learn more about what we do every day, would love to have you guys register. All right, so that's it for me. I'll see you guys at 1 o'clock and then first thing tomorrow morning. All right, bye everyone. If you're still watching, you must have really enjoyed that video. So why not subscribe and get email alerts anytime I upload new content? Remember, when you subscribe, you become a member of the Warrior Trading family.